Okay, fair enough. So what, Steve? How did you man start out though? Like the composers, like how did you look together? Like how did it come about?
So I'll give you the short version because there's so many variations of this story.
Start.
Yeah, if you watch any interview, you'll hear like a different story from one of us. But, so long and short, let's say 2000 and let's say from about 2011, about 2011 slash stroke. Yeah, 2011. We were all like musicians. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I was playing drums. The rest were all doing their thing, and so Biggs and Nana Pokes, the bass player, they were good friends with my sister, my older sister, from like school and stuff. So they were actually the composers already. They had another drummer. They were doing their thing already. And like amongst musicians, they were well respected, like very respected. So I used to get gassed when I see them. I'm like, right, that's the composers. Like them man are cold. Like, do you know what I'm saying? That time it was Facebook times. So like their videos would be on Facebook, like you see them rehearsing and stuff. And then so yeah, they obviously knew my sister, and then my sister was like to them one day, oh, you lot should like link up with my brother. Like he plays drums, like he's always making noise in the house. So the first person I actually met of them was Charlie Biggs. And then so what ended up happening was the drummer they had at the time, and still good friends with him now, he wanted to venture out into just playing with like different artists as opposed to doing the band thing. And so at the time, that's kind of what I was doing on a small scale, like locally, with like local artists. And so what ended up happening was, I think they had a show with an artist, but the drummer couldn't do it. So they asked me, they told my sister, like, ask for my number or whatever. And then they were like, oh, what, do you want to like come and play? And I was like, it wasn't even anything big. And I was like, yeah, why not? So, because I was just gassed, like, raw. Like, I was like probably 13. No, yeah, like 13, 14 at the time. So I went, did that, and then it started becoming a consistent thing. Like, maybe because at that point, I felt like, oh, yeah, I know them now. So, like, maybe when I get a call for something, I'm going to call them to come and play with me. Do you know what I'm saying? That started happening quite a bit. Like, I would get something, I'd call them, one of them would get something, and then we just started kind of bouncing off each other. But when it came to like composers shows, the other guy would still do his part in it. That's his thing. So then it so happened, I remember the first show was at Nottingham University. Okay. This is when I was doing my exams, my GCSEs, and they had a show there, and it was like an ACS event, and they were like, yo, you got this show, but my man can't make it. No, it wasn't even there. It was a church event. Funny enough, it was a church event. Yeah, it was a church event. They were like, yeah, my man can't make it. Do you think you can do it? I was like, yeah. I remember one day after school, I went there. I went to meet them in my school uniform. I went to rehearsal, and we rehearsed, and they were like, rah, like he's good. Like, he's actually good. So, you know, we did the show, went well. Then there was another show, did that. Then there was another show. Then we started, I started like, and it just so happened, coincidentally, my man started getting busy with like other stuff. So then I started feeling it quite a bit more. And then I remember, I think the last two shows was that Nottingham University one. This was literally, I'm talking like, I think I went to play the show. I went to do an exam the next day. Like, it was that kind of vibe. So then, come August 2013, then like I remember just one day after church, like it was like, yo, you man, let's link up. He was like over like Chinese, I'll never forget. We was always like sitting on the floor in Nana's living room, and then we were just like, yo, like, you man, we've been doing this thing for some time, like a year, 2 years, playing for all these artists and so on and so forth. But like, no one's really done the band thing how it was back in the day, where bands was the main thing, and we don't have that in our culture. Do you know what I'm saying? In the UK music culture, that don't really exist. Why don't we try that? And we was like, and at that time, I say this all the time. Me, I'm a very individualistic person. So the idea of a band, I was not for it at all. Like, I was never for it. Like, I always just wanted to play for artists, get paid, keep it stepping, do that. And then, but for some reason, I was just like, nah, like, these men are mad cool. Like, you know, like, they're like big, they're all older, innit? So it's like big brothers kind of thing, innit? It was like, let me take a swing at this because I remember my dad loved bands. My dad was like, yeah, you need to be like Phil Collins and all these great big drummers. You need to be like, and it's true, Ringo Starr, like those drummers from the Beatles and all these, those are like the biggest drummers in the world. They all played in bands. So the opportunity came and I thought about it. And I was like, you know what? Like, why not? So, you know, we spoke about it, we done it, and then we did a show that we put on ourselves. Went well. And I remember our first booking was at Listana. This was in 2013. And bro, we did that show. I promise you, like a week after the thing went viral, like everyone was like, who the hell are these guys? Like, this new concept, like what the hell? Like where has this been all our life kind of thing? And then, you know, God being so good from there, like, you know, shows start coming, like little shows start coming. And then I remember like we was actually quite busy at the time. Like, you know, I remember like always like Sunday, you know, then back in them times, 2013, a lot of shows used to happen on like Sunday evenings. Like just events, like, and we started doing it. So I'd play these shows, then go college the next day and stuff like that. And then December 2013, we did the first night of the Composers. And that was literally, bro, this is a 6 month span I've just explained to you, you know, August to December. And we was like, let's just do, because it's been going good, like, let's just do a little show, innit? Like, friends and family, nothing mad. So we booked like a 250 capacity venue, bro. We had like close to 500 people in that room. It's like 400 and like, they say you guys have like over 400 people in here. The fire exits were blocked, everything. So from there, man, like, as they say, the rest is history, man. This thing started happening, and, you know, here we are today, man.
It's good. It's a journey.
Serious journey.
Still going, the journey's still going.
Yeah.